se utumika se ubetuma abo pa $500 emi Twene Jonas ato atwene a na wonya it means say the probability of you why be dano it is high. You have to rot in jail and die. You have to be taken to court. You need to be jailed.
Kevin Taylor neni abre papa yebekaya openi a otimi approachi Twene Jonas na o kire ne se sili osi dimpenifo atemo Ghana ha no ano de be ya ontwitwa so na ono krampo no obetumi abopa with $500 amati se sebi producer obi etumi eku Twene Jonas ato na atwene kwa na sansem na obekan no eno ana se Kevin Taylor waso mgidigidi aneni abre a se wo se Twene Jonas ana waye na adwen so no de obesoso so ye pa because ebia no amfa nkwanko ye Twene Jonas na ode ababe ye obi foforo enti no also report papa yi edema UK aban na so omotwena so na papa no or taxi into obedi can report na ma taxi for no na wankwanko ku bia ne taxi ni mu na ebusua o se probability se papa no betumi ayesa ade na ode na no aka no high enti no na se kwan bia so no ofa na wotimi make sa report na abusua Kevin Taylor ababe kan sembebre na sanso anache se after se obekan sansem no nyoma bia odi agu akwama o hwe se obe report papa no ye be ko ne akwakohwe sansem na ba mehwe se ne dim ubemia o subscribe atem no ubemia bro na one channel like video no so na bibia enye kama pa ha Gossip Galore TV. Yes abusua Kevin Taylor ebe ntwere bi ebegu ni social media handle ni bi so na chese mehwe na ya kenkan kakra bi na afi ye ba ne nsem potia o kan ye ansa na obe make sa post we no na afi de ni na aba betrem kama pa ne yenkenkan o say we will officially send the video of this man threatening to take care of Twene Jonas with $500 to New York taxi authorities today. Na chese ne day no omo share na chese omo the video na papa no na all threaten Twene Jonas na okase obetimi the $500 abopa ma yekunu no omo the sa video no koma New York taxi authorities for no said be ya ometumi ahwe video no na asotwe bi o no omo the ama papa no ma yento aso say the possibility of he doing that in the past at this point is very high, and he will have the opportunity to prove his innocence. If he is able to do that to the New York authorities, good luck to him. We have transcribed all he says, suggesting he can have Twene Jonas killed with just $500. We are told he is called Akwesikra and he lives in Bronx. At age 65 and still driving a taxi in the cold of New York should have given him some wisdom, but he chose otherwise. And that is a posty papa no a picture. I will ni page. Na ebusunya nya asem ketwa. Kevin Taylor de nani abre pa o se sa asem wi obedi echire kopem se papa no ye betwe na so ama se de besi no ebenya esina ne nsem na ebusunya beka ye ochima papa wi obema na pro prison chese asem no betwumi tan kopem se beti se ten na chese kwan ya wo se mpanifo ana se mbra na wo abrochi no ana US no ebetumi ni papa wi adi ni pepepe na ono de hu ne se papa wi asem na waka no obeko na wakakwa dem na anhwe krampa aho ana obeda obepro ama chese 7 producer obetumi krampa afamawu obefamawu na ebusuan yanko na yankoti Kevin Taylor ansem no.
What we do here, as much as we are trying to check the system, we are also trying to protect the system. And that is what America is made out of. America is all about protecting the system. Because the more you protect the system, the more you are protected. So, who say obi attack obi baby. Na sa waka say we die nipa nan kwa se mitwema. Ebia nipa nan kasa ye attacking and emfa no ho. Ebia nipa na ye attacking no ohuni say normal. But because I don't want that person or attacking we are or they become in your vicinity, I need to call the cops on you. Some beto say obi threaten obi. Now ka just mebo tuo. Na se mitwema. Ebia nipa na ye se mebo tuo no on there or you protected on him how he can defend himself. But my problem should be so when tumi ambo nipa ni tuo or tam tuo na or beba me so and or beba me yere so and or beba me baso. So I have to take a decision that person will be taken off the streets of America. Send your my life, my family's life, my friends, their lives will be protected. Now I'm going to show you a video of a man who basically approached Twene Jonas and a 65-year-old man, Ghanaian. And the kind of words if you mobile, so we are going to take action. Also a taxi driver in New York City. I go to New York City a lot. I pick a lot of taxis. And I don't want to end up in a taxi somebody who openly on camera says obey to me abba abopa amyekubi. It is a dangerous statement, and we will take it up. With all due respect, Twene Jonas can decide not to act. It is his own decision, and I don't have a problem with him. But as I live in America, people like that are not supposed to be on the streets, especially people like that who drive taxis. They're dangerous. So we have taken it upon ourselves to reach out to the taxi union of this New York. We are going to write official statement for this man to be taken off taxi. He should not be able to drive taxi, and some rules are supposed to apply. That's what I'm saying. Say, Twene Jonas is a different individual. He can decide to take action or decide not to take action. That one, it is decision. But as far as I live in America, I will make sure that this old man who is 65 years, a Ghanaian living in America. Now let's listen to this man and the words that came out of his mouth. Also a taxi driver. So we are taking it upon ourselves for people like that to be taken off the streets. Taxi no or say a unified taxi. Sir, in summer or can we have to make sure such a person is not walking on the streets of New York. I've lived in New York before for about 7 years, and I know what I'm talking about. This is the old man and Twene Jonas.
Monsieur will make my $500. I'm here work for you.
But the problem is that material.
When what time did you Twene Jonas?
I've put you in the
we are winning in check. We hear the 2 months. Yo, Samima Bonia. Catch them, Papa, and Anemia. Adieu, we away. Yet the boy would be something in a temple. Champagne.
Now, I just want to say this. Even in America, and with all due respect, I am not going to defend Twene Jonas on his statement or his remarks. No, because nobody should defend me on my statement or my remarks. Twene Jonas, he knows what he's doing. He's not a kid. He lives in America. He pays his own bills. He takes care of his own business. His remarks are his remarks. He has the right to defend his remarks. You get what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and defend Twene Jonas what he has to say or what he doesn't have to say. He's a grown-ass man. He knows his decisions. Now, for this man to make it look like, say, one or no, because you see, you might think said the statement he made, a vague statement. It is not. Say, met my bopa $500. Emma will be a take your life. Now, that statement, you can go to court. You will have to defend yourself. Now, my issue now is for a 65-year-old man, or a Ghanaian. Say, our problem with Twene Jonas words are here. That is his own problem. But to go further to say you were a cab driver, uchi taxi. Now ubetuma bopa $500. That means that the probability so you be paying high. Listen to me. Say utumika say ubetuma bopa $500 Twene Jonas atwachnia. Now it means say the probability of you why be done it is high. So it is not you justifying it because but if he's using words you don't like, it is your problem. In America, Krampona Yetihano, we see people go after presidents, harsh words. People go after senators. People go after congressmen. Nobody has been able to stand on the streets of New York as a taxi driver to say, I can put $500 on your head for you to be taken care of, but I will not do it. That statement is a threat, and it's a threat to any person who sits in this man's taxi. Because it can be so one day he will end up exchanging words with somebody in his taxi, and then he will make sure that that person is killed. The statement he made was against me, but as somebody who lives here, I think this old man who is 65 years does not deserve to be driving cab. Now, Sanka bo brapa pebi wo wiase na wotia. So obet in America no say enye brand na ediebu ebu abowa. Enye enkwasi abra na obebo ya 65 years uchi taxi wo America. 65 years. Sankanya Jimmy na obet na ha Jimmy ye na nka obo bra ye. Ena nka Ghana na wunso so obekwa akowu a. De na nka 65 years otena ha. Eka said yen uchi taxi a won ferry. Enye enkwasi abra na obebo ya. Enye sansa bra na obebo ya. Enya Ghana na asay na usro se kwa retire wo ha. Na nke at age 65. Onam New York, brag say we a taxi driver. Won ferry. Are you not ashamed? Enya time. It is a Twene Jonas Krampo use harsh words against leaders in Ghana. Say omuma nyoma nye ye na peyin toto jiminiti sawo. Utumi kofie eko tena because make us say yare etuatua woto usro se uko Ghana na watwe miensa ubewu. In your act of advising the young man, you were threatening the young man. We are going to send a formal complaint to TLC. We are going to call them tomorrow. We will add this video and let them know. And there are other platforms in New York. We are going to push this video. Put the translation on it. For people in New York to know that this man does not deserve to drive cab, taxi in New York or dangerous. He's threatening to murder somebody in a jovial way. And you see, when it comes to threat, there's no joke in threats. Anytime I start to make a will say, me chum na papa we ka say, Twene Jonas, metum the nipa, mama obia boutu because of $500. But me nya, I will let the police arrest him because my life is at stake. Because of the Twene Jonas so no wa anya kura or the bay of fufro, and the probability say why yes no, it is there. So they need to run checks on this man. I am not going to hold brief for Twene Jonas. What he does, a no decision. Whatever he says, he's a grown-ass man. He's over 18 years. I am also a grown man. I am 18 and over. So I can defend my utterances. And so as he. But for this old man at age 65, for you to stand in front of a police station to tell another person living on this soil, say, you can just put $500 on his head into Ochina. Nyamin pengu. Na Twene Jonas, Bibiatona, you are a prime suspect. You have to rot in jail and die. You have to be taken to court. You need to be jailed. Now, Mr. S, get me the screenshot of his face. And I'm going to send this message. And this is something that we need to be doing often. And this man, and like I started saying, Twene Jonas can decide not to take any action. I respect his decision. But as I live on this land and I do business in New York, I'll take action. And I'll have to make sure TLC, the taxi union of New York, they call this man and tell him not to sit behind any steer as a commercial driver or a dangerous to every American citizen. Because the utterances alone, the probability it is high. Mr. S, get me a screenshot of his face. I think I have it, Mr. S. Mr. S, don't worry, I have it. Now, this man, I don't know his name, but I know by tomorrow we will get his full name. We will get his address. I know we will be able to pull out where he lives. We will let everybody know where he lives and the kind of person he is. We know we are going to get a lot of people showing information about this man. The authorities to deal with him. This man is a dangerous man on the streets of New York. And if you know any friend in New York who is a taxi cab, anybody who basically picks taxis a lot in New York, I have a lot of friends who basically park their cars and commute with taxis. If you know anyone on the streets of New York who basically purchases taxis a lot, you need to understand this man is a taxi cab driver. He's 65 years old, a Ghanaian living here. I don't know whether he's a citizen. He basically is threatening another Ghanaian on the streets of New York that he can just put a $500 bounty on his head and he'll be taken off the streets. This man is dangerous to every American. And the TLC needs to know that when people like these, the kind of intentions and the kind of utterances they make, people like these are not supposed to be aligned or associated with the New York Taxi Association. So if you live in New York, if you are a friend to anybody who is a taxi driver, this gentleman has to be taken off the street. He does not have to be a cab driver in New York City. We are going to officially send an email to make sure he's taken off the streets of New York. This guy sounds like a psychopath. You might think he's joking. He isn't. And he has put every single American's life at risk. He just told this man he can spend just $500 for him to be taken off the street, technically for him to be killed, all because he does not support the kind of language he uses against the leadership in Ghana. The gentleman has the right to speak his mind. This is America. He has the right to free speech. So for another person living on this land to walk to him, to make such a statement, it is not just against the young man, but it is against every single American who bought taxi in New York City. So we will make sure this man is taken off the streets of New York. He never gets a commercial license to drive taxi in New York City. We will follow up tomorrow, and whatever response we get, we will let you know.
So in some way, Anna Kevin Tilla and any brigade, our betchenagin, a year threatening a year message, a papa we a tomani a year Twene Jonas a brow approachino, na Twene Jonas a year video glass and quan, na just what they channel say, see you see dimping for table crewman as went to chasso, na just a one man casa one tia, or no penino and a quasi cray, or to me. Abopa $500 amachese ye na firi ho kra simple na nya de obeye but ni na mu no Kevin Tilla chema papa na di kan de na no aka nko ade ekwan bia so no ebia waye bi da ti na ma wo hu so betumi ayesa na se onye bi da krampo na obetumi aye nti na ode na no aboso no nti no o hwe amachese mbra ne papa no edi kama se de be ya obi aso ebejo na obi anama on hwehwe ne shoulder se obi tata no nti abusua no ne akwakoti ade aba no betumi a kyere wadwen or comment section hona bibia ayakama ha gossip galore TV mesro so we me subscribe button no me bell na won channel like video no so na bibia enya kama pa ha ana abusua me do besi makra